A bit weird because I don't really know Conor at all. I've never even met the guy. Never had any beef with him or anything, and the whole situation came on a little bit weird. So my friend started a YouTube channel, right? Because he's my friend, he came down the gym and interviewed me, and I did it because he's my friend. He doesn't have loads of numbers on his, doesn't have loads of followers or loads of subscribers or anything like that. So it's a pretty small interview, and he asked me about McGregor. Are you looking forward to McGregor's next fight? Blah blah blah. And I said, to be honest, I'm not really that interested in Conor McGregor. Not because Mate, I only really watch the heavyweights and bigger guys. I'm not as interested in the small. I just meant it like that. Next minute, he's fucking sending me death threats, loads of tweets. I'm like, mate.
Everything kicked off when Tom Aspinall, during a recent interview, casually mentioned that he hasn't really been following Conor McGregor's latest headlines. It wasn't meant as a jab. He simply said his focus has been on training and studying heavyweight bouts. Nothing dramatic, nothing disrespectful. But Conor didn't see it that way. He quickly took to Twitter, suggesting that Aspinall was using his name for clout and twisting the situation into something more personal. What was meant as a neutral comment suddenly turned into a social media storm. Eventually, Aspinall addressed the whole thing during his appearance on Piers Morgan's show, putting the rumors and drama into perspective once and for all.
Piers Morgan finally addressed the drama.
What about Conor McGregor? He's been very scathing of you on social media, taken you on a few times. What do you feel about him?
I don't know Conor McGregor. I've never met him. I don't know why he chooses to do that. No idea.
2023, you said that you were over the Conor McGregor hype train, and he took to Twitter, as it was then, and said, "Say sayonara to that, GK, Jim King, deal kid. Starve you and kill you. I will, you effing disrespectful prick. Don't ever speak my name in disrespect again. Mashed potato head."
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong about the head. The head is quite potato shaped. I'm all right with that. But I don't know why he's so offended. I just said I'm not.
Have you met him?
No, I've never met him. Never met him.
What would happen if you met him?
Nothing against him. Nothing. Unless.
I mean, you're massively big.
I'm not bothered. I'm not interested in this.
Really?
Yeah, not bothered.
He calmly shut it all down, making it clear that the back and forth doesn't matter to him. Right now, his sights are locked on one goal: claiming the title and becoming the undisputed UFC heavyweight champion.
The UFC is about one guy being the champion of each division. I defended the interim once already. It's almost unheard of that. It's unprecedented. I thought it was silly the first time, to be honest. The reason that I did it, the first time I fought Curtis Blades, it went down as a loss. I got injured. Worst moment of my career, one of the worst moments of my life. I wanted to redeem myself and get the legit victory against Curtis Blades because it was unfinished business. Like, that was hurting my ego, and I wanted to prove that I was better than Blades, which I did in the rematch, and I defended the interim. Something else, that particular fight was in Manchester, in my hometown. I wanted to fight in my hometown. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do that again in front of a sold out, brand new Co-op Live arena in Manchester, England. I don't know if I'm ever going to have the opportunity to do that again. So for them two reasons, that's why I defended the interim. I'm not doing it again. Like, I've cleared out the rest of the division, undisputed, and that's it. I deserve a shot at being known as the best heavyweight walking around on planet Earth. It doesn't matter on the opponent. Undisputed net.
You'd expect Conor, someone who knows exactly what it's like to carry the weight of a high-stakes fight too. Show some support for Aspinall as he prepares for the biggest moment of his career.
Would pick Conor McGregor up like a shopping bag with one arm. He is so small compared to me. And I know his fans are going to think he's like Superman or whatever, but they've got weight classes for a reason, bro. I'm more than twice the size of this man. And look, if you want to do a charity fight, anything, MMA, boxing, I don't really give a shit because I'm literally a giant compared to you. We'll donate the money to burns victims. How about that? Anytime, anywhere, any place. I really don't care. Someone needs to shut that hole in your face.
Especially with a potential showdown against Jon Jones on the horizon, you'd think the support would be pouring in. But surprisingly, it's not just Conor keeping his distance. Even some fellow UK fighters have been hesitant to back Aspinall. Take Paddy Pimblett. For example, he recently stated that he believes Jon Jones would come out on top if the two ever met in the octagon, choosing to back the American legend over the rising British star.
Think the Aspinall-Jones fight happens?
It's got to happen. I was sitting next to Tom the other week at the UFC in London and talking to him about it.
How do you think that plays out if they fight?
I'll be honest, Tom's a friend. I love Tom. He's one of the coolest dudes in the whole of MMA. Even though Jones is getting old, I just can't pick against Jon Jones. The one thing I do think Jon Jones has got the best in the world and the best ever is his fight IQ. He has a perfect game plan to beat that person. As much as I love Tom and I want Tom to win, I couldn't pick against John Jones. It's just something I couldn't do.
It's a strange dynamic one that's left fans questioning where the true loyalty lies within the UK MMA scene. While a few fighters seem reluctant to back him, a huge portion of the MMA world isn't holding back. They see Tom Aspinall as the future of the heavyweight division. And if that long-rumored clash with John Jones becomes a reality, plenty believe it won't just be a tough test for Tom. It could be serious trouble for the legend himself.
He's elite as a heavyweight. A lot of the heavyweights, they're good, they're very strong, they're powerful, but they're not as quick and as agile and as technical as Tom. Tom's the whole package. You know, he's like, there's a fighter called George St. Pierre, who's one of the greatest to ever do it. Tom's like a heavyweight George St. Pierre. He's got no weak areas. He's got absolute knockout power, super disciplined, super agile on the feet. He finishes everyone really, really quickly. However, he hasn't gone up against somebody like John Jones because, as I said, the competition in the heavyweight division isn't necessarily there on a technical level. John Jones is, and John Jones has fought way better competition than Tom. That's just a fact. But John's never fought anyone like Tom either. John has never fought anyone the size of Tom, and that can generate that kind of power. He had two heavyweight fights, one against Cyril Garner, who took him down really quick and he choked him out. And then he went up against Stipe Miocic. He was really good and, you know, he had a good little go, but he was 42 and he hadn't fought for a while and he's getting on. Tom's 31 in the prime of his life. And I would be very surprised, and this sounds disrespectful, but I'd be very surprised if he got out the first round.
Stylistically, Tom Aspinall is a nightmare for anyone in the division. He's fast, sharp, and explosive moving with the speed and fluidity of a middleweight. But carrying the knockout power of a true heavyweight, he's just as dangerous on the ground as he is on the feet, and his composure under pressure, combined with his ability to finish fights early, makes him a serious problem for anyone. Standing across from him, on the other side, John Jones still wears the crown. He's a strategic mastermind, battle-tested in 5-round wars, and has consistently adapted to overcome every challenge thrown his way. But the reality is he's been on the sidelines. Injuries have taken a toll, and he's never faced someone like Aspinall. Heavyweight with this kind of speed, size, and technical precision? Not ever.
Who's next big heavyweight star?
Tom Aspinall, the guy who
Of
just
course,
won
just
the
won.
interim title. He's phenomenal, and he is again the next the next advancement of the evolution of the sport.
How so?
Well, because he can do everything. That guy's got elite jiu-jitsu. He's got elite takedowns. His striking is outstanding. Like, I've seen a lot of heavyweight, even Francis, who's like the greatest, scariest power striker I've ever seen in the heavyweight division. No one's scarier than Francis. Francis does not move like Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is significantly faster than every other heavyweight. That's a real problem because he's a heavyweight and he's a big guy, a really big guy, but he moves so fast. And so his speed has always been like extraordinary compared to other heavyweights. Like, he just moves in. It's all like fast, explosive movements. So he's got natural speed, but then he's also got a lot of training to execute quickly. So when he moves in, he closes the gap. You can see, like, he's fast for a big guy.
Right.
I want to see it so bad.
John was shitting all over Aspinall,
saying that I think that's a bad way to go.
He was lucky that he blew his knee out with Curtis Blades because Curtis was teeing off
Doing
on
well.
him. Unless John avoided him, unless John used his wrestling to avoid exchanges, you know what that's all about.
Correct. It's called the Shop Shutdown.
Shop Shutdown.
I saw a 7-part
They did with
series on
Cyborg.
it. Yes. The Stipe fight, which is just like, it's a weird thing.
Aspinall's an athlete, man. He's such a good athlete.
Freak athlete.
Very fast. Very fast for a heavyweight.
So fast.
Yeah, but we felt the same way about Cyril Gahn, though.
Yeah, but
Cyril
Gahn
Gahn doesn't have wrestling, doesn't have jiu-jitsu. Aspinall's like legit on the ground. Very legit on the ground.
So legit that his dad owned a jiu-jitsu gym. His dad's a black belt. He started doing jiu-jitsu at 2.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Aspinall is past the first round, right? Because we've seen him. He looks so fast. He looks, you're like, nobody moves like him. He looks like a younger Kane.
Right.
But he just keeps knocking these guys out so quick. So I'm like, let me see him past the first round to see if he has that cardio as well.
It's a bit of a problem for him, right? Because he has not been tested in that way.
And that's exactly what makes the potential matchup so electrifying. Some analysts believe Jones would use his fight IQ to manage the distance, take the bout into deep waters, and deliver a masterclass reminding the world why many still call him the greatest of all time.
I bet if he's weighing 215, he would fight Tom Aspinall better than him weighing 245 pounds. In his 205 frame, he could fight Tom Aspinall better than he'd fight him at that 250 because that's not his weight class. While he didn't last long with Cyril, he didn't look as fast. He carried more weight. Cyril just did some weird stuff. And John, you don't make mistakes against John.
Others argue that Aspinall's youth, sharpness, and momentum might simply be too much that Jon Jones wouldn't make it past 2 rounds against a heavyweight this dynamic. But with all the delays, politics, and uncertainty about whether this fight will ever actually happen, fans are growing restless. They're tired of the wait, tired of seeing the interim champ left on the sidelines, and frustrated that one of the most anticipated matchups in recent UFC memory remains in limbo. Still, KO. Tom Aspinall keeps doing what he does best, training hard, staying composed, and responding to all the noise with nothing but professionalism. But make no mistake, the pressure is mounting because when that octagon door finally shuts, whether it's Jon Jones across from him or someone else Aspinall's, moment will arrive, and the world will be watching.